Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Heyo and welcome today. It's just me, just chatting along while, you're seeing me painting. So I'm revisiting a page 3 from my book. It'd be at page 3. You would have seen me do page 2 in one of the previous videos, and before that I did a bit of some of the pugs that I'm creating, and yeah, I've been up to this, that and everything, and now I'm back to the book again, and going through some of the pages, editing them and things like that. Yeah, so today I thought I might possibly talk a little bit about, investing your time, a little bit like about investing your time management, possibly things like that, and things. I know that I do chat about this quite a bit. It comes up most of the time because I feel it's a really important thing as artists. We all have, or as even just life in general, other things, you might be listening to this and you're not exactly into being like a full-time artist, but yeah, I feel like you could, get something out of whether it's this videos or the chats that I do have, that we do talk a little bit about time management, because we all have, the same amount of time. Everyone complains that, I only have like this many hours or during the day, and I only get to do this much, blah blah blah. I'm the kind of the same. I don't exactly moan about it all the time. I get through it, and try and spend as much time as I can. I always want to do more than I can. Obviously, I want to be doing the whole 60 hours of me painting. That would be awesome. But in reality, I've got to work the 40 hours to pay the rent. And most of you guys have to work at least 40 hours to, pay and get by, to live and things like that. You can't just paint, unfortunately. That might be for you guys. Some of you guys listening might actually be, full-time illustrators or full-time concept artists, or something like that, that you actually are, being able to pay the rent with what you love to do. Obviously, I'm not fully at that stage yet, but I still love being able to paint when I can. I have a little family here, and I have a full-time job, but I'm still capable of, doing what I love. And obviously it's 20 hours a week. It's not as long as I'd like it to be, but I still get to do it, which is awesome. It's what I love doing, and nothing will stop me. And I always invest as much time as I can. There's other things that I've got to do, like keeping this house up to scratch. Obviously, I've got other duties to do, and spend time with my little family and friends and things like that. So, there's always those times that I try and get those kind of evened out, I'd say. I just try and, things come up every now and again. There are some weekends I'm just staying home and painting. Other weekends I'm out and about with people, going places. We might be doing some shopping or something, some weekends. But yeah, I try, with this week I'm trying to get as much done as possible and try to keep ahead, as well. And same with investing my time after work, because the best time really is, after work hours, when it's kind of, for me, when Bubba's in bed, and yeah, I've had to done everything. I can just sit, relax and paint. obviously there's other things that I want to do. You know, I want to be playing games and things like that as well. Um, but I gotta, you know, um, manage my time as well. You know, I've got, you know, you can't just shut yourself out of that whole I can't game. You know, you've got to actually give yourself a little bit as well. You know, you don't just want to be all full go at it, go at it, go at it. I mean, so you might do it for a few years and it might be fine, but after a while it starts getting to you. Which for me, I don't exactly do all that. I actually, you know, I do a little bit of gaming here and there. Just, you know, maybe um, some nights is a bit more than others. You know, I do some nights where I'm doing 2 or 3 hours, um, and not much painting, like half an hour of painting. But um, mostly on a good night, I'm doing 2 or 3 hours actually painting, and maybe half an hour of gaming. And sometimes it's all painting. Sometimes it's like, you know, 4 hours a day of actually painting and getting other stuff sorted and no gaming. You know, it could be weeks without any gaming sometimes, or doing other, you know, activities. But you know, it evens out in the end. And now I'm at a state where I'm kind of above game again. You know, I've got this content coming in that's keeping these videos going, and I don't have to stress out so much that I've got to, you know, keep on painting, you know, every second of every day. I can relax a little bit, but I still have to feel like there's that pressure there, as well, because I got to keep, while I'm at the, you know, the top of my game at the moment, I've got to keep on it. Otherwise, if I let it go, it will go back to the same place I was, where I'm trying to struggle making a video each week. And I don't want that. I want to keep it going so that I'm at least like 2 videos ahead or something, so that, you know, if shit you know, something hits the fan, I don't want to get demonetized. Not that I am monetized, but for saying swear words, you know. But you know, if something hits the fan, and you know, I have to kind of quickly put together a video that will be uploaded a little bit later. You know, I can do that. I've got that there, and then you know, and I think that's kind of where I kind of got into this trap of, also that is that I was, because I had things on each kind of weekend in kind of a month, things got a little bit hectic, and it was kind of tough to keep up on. Where now it's a little bit more quieter. I'm kind of busy painting and then things like that, so I can kind of keep up quite nicely. But yeah, I've got to really grind to get things done. Yeah, and I invest time on quite a few things. You know, it's not just fully painting these paintings that you're seeing here, whether it's the actual pugs that I was doing, or this revisit of a page of my book. I also obviously have lunch break, that I have an hour of drawing, usually, roughly, when all my breaks all up, roughly an hour if I really go at it. It usually takes me 15 minutes ish to fully eat for lunch, depending on what I have, because sometimes I might heat something up, and it, you know, it may take me a little bit longer, or something like that. But usually takes roughly 15ish minutes to have some food or something. And sometimes I can kind of eat while I draw, while I eat, you know, kind of depending on what I've got. You know, if I've got messy soup or something like that, or messy fish fingers or something, I don't know. It's a bit hard to kind of draw at the same time, so I kind of just eat and then draw. If I can, I will eat and draw, but usually I'm focused on drawing. Usually I eat first and then I draw. So I usually get roughly about 45ish minutes of actually drawing ish, you know, it's roughly that time. And in that time, I'm doing dealing with quite a few things with my drawing. sometimes I may have a problem with a painting that I'm doing at home, like a pose, or example on the next page I do. You won't see this for a bit, but on the next page I do, I was really struggling with getting that pose the way I wanted to look like. It was with the hedgehog, trying to get the hedgehog to look the way I wanted to with the pose. I was really struggling one night with it, and I painted again and drew it again, painted again, and that deterred me off from actually painting it. I was like, oh, I kind of give up on this. I'm never going to get there. But then, using that 45 minutes I had at work to just tackle that issue, just take a step back, go back to the drawing board, tackle that issue, maybe get a more realistic kind of a look, into what I can actually achieve, because, it's always, whether I can achieve it too. I might not know how to do that pose fully properly yet. And also with the characters, what you're working with the characters, there's only like so much kind of pose you can do with a character, limitations of how you kind of express things. For instance, like with a cartoon character, it can be very expressive, like big smiley faces and really big emotions and things like that. But with a more, say, realistic character, you probably won't have that stretch and pull that kind of shows you the expression that much. The expression won't show as much. So you've also got that kind of thing I'm going for with these kind of this book. I'm going a little bit realistic. Kind of want that. I still want that kind of cartoony character, coming out though. That whole feeling of the characters coming out very strongly. But yeah, what I can portray without it kind of breaking the whole scene or the character as well. So I gotta think about that. So, I took that 45 minutes to develop that, investing that time into the project a little bit more. And that really helped, just trying to solve this issue. I just did a few doodles, and I found like the solution to my problem for it. And sometimes it's just just taking a little step back and then deciding on what not get so frustrated with it, and come back and the next day it works out. And yeah, it's also leaving, you're not gonna get perfect. I think I was trying too hard to try and get the most perfect pose in the world for it, but I know that I can't achieve the perfectest pose. I just have to try and capture it the best I can, the best of my ability that I can capture, and try and tell the story. It's like with the scene at the moment, with the wispy smelling coming out of the fruit. I was struggling here to try and get it to work, and then I took a step back from it and I was like, what do I do? And then I kind of changed the direction of how kind of the smoke actually worked, rather than like twisting into itself. How I've got it here, it looks like big clumps, like it looks kind of like a giant kind of a joint thingy, or like a rag cloth or something, like pulled together. So I wasn't happy in the end with that, but now we've been working on it for quite a bit now. I have kind of sit back and be like, change it. And yeah, it's easier to, it is way easier to kind of, rather than work with something that kind of doesn't work, just retry and redraw it, like redo what you're doing. It does kind of help it, rather than trying to fix a bad solution. Come up with a new solution, because you'll spend, you gotta and spend your time wisely. You can't be sitting there for 5 hours, kind of investing all this time into a bad idea that goes nowhere. You gotta decide what's good, and yeah, eventually just investing other, while I kind of processed it in my head, I was investing time into doing the other stuff and the painting that needed to be done. And yeah, coming back to deal with that bit later. I was okay with it at this time, but I was like, I'm not too sure what I was doing with it. I was kind of, I guess I was all over the place a little bit with this piece, because coming back for so long. But I'm actually surprised of how far it's gone. You guys will not see the whole thing, because this is part 1 of it basically, which is technically part 3, because I've done 2 other paintings of me painting this before, 2 other parts of it, so technically it's part 3. But for my revisit, it's kind of, it depends on how you see it, but yeah, part 3 of me painting this. I used to actually, with my videos, I used to call them, part 1, part 2, part 3. And then, I decided kind of one day I was ahead of my YouTube channel, so I had a bit of time to invest as well, which is something you'll hear a lot, is investment, investing my time. I had, a bit of time there, and I was going through my channel, and I was like, maybe I should, because I was watching videos about kind of thumbnails and titles and things like that, and those can really help. I finally decided to actually go with that kind of advice with, making it interesting thumbnails and, nice titles that attract people and things like that. I went with that kind of advice, and I thought about it, and yeah, I started to decide to go from, such a video. I was going to do a new trailer, and then re kind of thumbnail and name all the videos from a certain date. That's what I did, and from there I changed all the videos from that certain date, which was, I think it was the start of, I think it actually was about the start of this year-ish. It was a bit earlier than that, actually. It was last year, like the end of last year I was deciding to do it. And yeah, I just invested like a couple of hours of just fixing up like all my videos, of naming them and changing the thumbnails and sharing them and things like that. I think it did help quite a bit. I mean, it's hard to kind of tell. I think it has helped. I mean, definitely, like with the namings and things like that, it does help a lot. Like I've had one with one of my Photoshop, techniques and things, that in the first week got like 70 views or something. So it does help, but it's hard to tell with such a smallish kind of community at the moment. Yeah, with the kind of smallish YouTube viewings at the moment, it's definitely hard to tell, but I think it does really help to make the videos look better than just kind of naming them and having a random image there. Yeah, it does look, nicer, and yeah, just invested that little bit of time I had. Um, I've invested a lot of time into this so far. This whole journey has been so much time. I mean, people will talk about like the 10,000 hours rule. Um, with doing something for 10,000 hours, you get good at it. But I would say that I've probably invested something like 100,000 hours or something into this, into just me painting and illustrating, creating stuff, not exactly all being Photoshop illustrations. They have been, traditional color pencil drawings. 3D, I've done a bit of 3D artwork, and also Lego animations. I tried some other kind of animation things, but yeah, I'm just not too interested in animation things. I was thinking about, 3D stuff a little bit. Yeah, just to kind of help me out with characters and stuff like that at some point. Kind of want to do more like ZBrush stuff. I know you can kind of do that with Blender these days. Yeah, might have to look into that if I want to do character. I could do like a video where you see me kind of sculpting something. So it's possible, I could actually do like a 3D sculpt video or something, paint over the 3D scope. Possibly. And yeah, but yeah, the other thing I also do is I watch schoolism. So there's actually a few parts of that. There's I don't do it much these days, but there's the critiqued kind of, not the ones where they got the videos. So basically, in the classes, they have the classes, so you can watch the lessons, then you can do the lessons, and then you can watch, the other people who have put their work in, and whoever does it, like I'm doing Daniel Arriaga's course, he will go over the artists who submitted some work from, I think usually the first class. He goes over their work, and you get to see all the videos from there of him critiquing people's work. So I watch a little bit of that sometimes. That's quite good to see, what some other people in the course have done for that, for what you're supposed to do. Like, I did it with Teal Willich's course I was doing with creating creatures. We had to create like a creature, like a cross between I think we had like a lizard type creature and a fish, I think it was. I think that was one of them anyway, like a reptilian and a amphibian or something. We had to mix those, and I watched some of the submissions and things, and what they thought. Then what Teal Willich was actually suggesting to change. Things that they missed out that was actually important. Working on some of the structures and things like that. Yeah, it's just awesome to kind of see that content there as well. So yeah, sometimes I do watch that kind of thing, but I don't feel like doing that all the time, and it's also not exactly easy to do that, because it's also like I've got my Tuesday streams, which is another kind of small investment to my week that I make into trying to like boost my Twitch kind of activity slash YouTube activity slash investing in actually how I present these videos and things, because doing that Tuesday streams really helps me to keep an audience alive. It's improved how I chat every week. It's doing it constantly every Tuesday and then on the weekend as well, does really help. It's great. It's been helpful doing that. So that's another little investment. And I can't exactly listen to my own music. I'm usually listening to free live kind of stream music that people can uncopyrighted music, so people can still listen to me. Say if they wanted to watch the video after stream or something, they may or may not. I mean, I don't really care, but I just want it to be live so the audio doesn't get cut out. It also means the same thing if I do want to upload at any stage for any reason. I can, with a little bit of background music, it won't kill it, but it. I can't watch the schoolism courses while I'm doing that stream on a Tuesday, which is around about like 40-ish minutes, so that's a kind of compromise and takeaway as well. You're giving up. I'm giving up like a little bit of freedom for doing that as well. I have to actually sit there and kind of chat while I'm painting. I could be really, really quiet and just kind of paint and get along with it. People could watch that. That's fine. I seem to kind of chat on those streams. But yeah, that's the compromise as well in investing time. Is you're taking away that time from something else. But yeah, it's really important to weigh it up as well, like what you can kind of give up on time, like me playing these games sometimes. Some weeks or some days I do decide, no, I need this time, to invest in actually painting this piece at the moment, because if I don't, I just, it means that I'd be trying to rush around doing this at some silly time or something. But yeah. Cool. Awesome. So yeah, I've had some awesome artists in, and yeah, we do chat about the subject, time management. I always try to find out what they do to keep themselves motivated, things like that. It's always helpful, to know what other people are doing. It's interesting. There was an artist that I had in that wore his shoes to his desk. I think it's in his room or something, his office, and he wears his shoes to the office, because that's like going to work. It's a whole process of going to work. It's kind of like, do you feel like doing work while you're in your PJs? You just want to kind of relax in your PJs. It's the same kind of mental thing. With putting your shoes on, you're actually there to work, So yeah, it's an interesting concept, actually putting your shoes on. And there's that mentality thing. It's very interesting that that wearing their shoes to their office. So it's always an interesting concept as well. It's always awesome to have different opinions on that. The videos up there, I talked to quite a few artists. So if you are listening, whoever I chatted to, I don't remember your name right off the bat, but you know, if I go through my YouTube videos, it'll be like, yep, I know who you are, and you know, it's awesome, and you know, make all these awesome friends. And yeah, it's so awesome to have them on like my social media as well. You know, either connect through like Facebook or Instagram with them. Some even LinkedIn, because I find LinkedIn helpful as well to share my videos, and things like that, and find other artists, and just grow like a community and things like that. It's always helpful, I think. Yeah. Now it's gonna kind of annoy me that I can't remember his name that I was chatting to. You know, there's some I also get mixed up sometimes, but yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, so you see me doing a little bit of bush painting here, of me painting the bush. Not me actually in the bush painting. It was Jory Roseman. That's, yeah, awesome. And I'm pretty sure he was the yeah, he's a core concept artist from the Netherlands, Amsterdam. Yeah, he's the guy that worked on a little bit of Horizons, Jurassic World, and some awesome artwork. He was an awesome artist to chat to. So yeah, I've got some, you know, good videos in there. I reckon you should check out if you are listening to this video. That is awesome. Feel free to, you know, like, share, subscribe, and you know, this is probably the content for you then. You know, it's awesome, you know, having people that do kind of watch and comment. And it's awesome getting feedback from some of the artists I do talk to, and they might have seen my videos or they like my videos, which is really cool, you know, that they're enjoyed by other artists, which is something, you know, I want this to be, you know, something, for another thing for all artists in the community, just like, you know, schoolism, but schoolism and what Bobby Chair is doing is such a big thing. I don't know if I'll be on that level, but you know, I want to be on, you know, a little piece of the radar per se. You know, that'll be awesome. Just so, you know, I want to spread my message a little bit. You know, trying to get, you know, for me, I want to push per se, kind of, I want to push people into like becoming artists basically, because it is, you know, a hard kind of a thing, to want. You know, everyone kind of studies these days, and especially in New Zealand, artists or art things are kind of now being really shunned upon, you know, because they are kind of the way to go if you want to be bankrupt per se. You know, people are kind of saying that kind of thing. So I kind of want to get people away from that. You know, there is a way to live with being an illustrator. It does, you know, take sacrifice, and it takes investing time and also investing money sometimes, because, you know, if you're wanting to learn really good, you know, there's schoolism, there's Gumroad, and all these other ways that are quite cheapish to get. And same with doing, if you want to do a course and do it that way, blah blah blah. I mean, it's each their own. But yeah, just trying to get people to actually decide and put in the time and investment into doing it to get somewhere, rather than just, you know, sit around and kind of living life. You know, you gotta um, live life to the fullest. You know, and even, you know, if it's not working out, you know, just try. You know, just keep going. You know, it obviously takes time and effort, and it's some, you know, for some people it's, you know, comes earlier and it comes much easier. Um, Obviously, some people have, you know, for me, I might have per se had more success per se if I decided to do like um, more kind of Comic Con like events, or things like that. Um, and invested like a lot more money, or like a lot more time as well. Um, you know, I could be way further than I am, but I'm pretty happy with where I am at the moment. Obviously, I would like to be at a better place, but um, you know, I'm just trying to spread that message of, you know, you can go for something you want. You know, you can do this if you want. You can be an illustrator. You can be an artist. Um, yeah, and just trying to get that across. Also, you know, trying to share my art, and things like that. What I kind of paint and create, and share it with artists around the world, and share it with um, you know, you guys, listeners, and things like that. To share what I'm painting and what I'm creating, to see, you know, what I do as well, like learning from maybe my mistakes too, because, you know, sometimes I do make mistakes in my paintings. It's not perfect paintings. I'm painting to create and to tell a story, and you can see me from, you know, the start of this YouTube channel. You can see what I painted back then versus what I'm kind of painting now. You know, it's always getting, you know, better and better, and you can see the improvement. Or even if you look at like the first post on my YouTube or my DeviantArt, of my first post compared to like what I'm doing now, you can see the improvement, and trying to also get people, you know, improving, teaching them what I know and what I can help them with. Um, yeah, it's been great. If you have listened to this whole video, if you have kind of tuned in to me chatting, it's great that you're here. Yeah, it's great that people have supported me so far. It's been good, and it's up and down. Some obviously some months I have heaps of artists in, and I have great chats with artists and illustrators and designers. And some months is a little bit slow. It's just kind of me chatting, and I try, you know, try every video to make, you know, an interesting chat. You know, I just don't want to have a chat and have nothing kind of to talk about. I do want to, you know, delve into different domains, you know, of conversations that I can have. Obviously some weeks I do have, you know, a lot of topics on my mind that I kind of want to make videos for. Other weeks I do have like no idea. You know, I just kind of come here and I'm like, I don't know. And then eventually I make kind of an idea of what the video might be about. And it's the same for weekly tips. I do my weekly tips where I just share a tip each week. Like this week I did presentation, and it's, you know, I'm definitely, I would say, improving on my presentation. I mean, comment below if you think I'm not. That's fine if you think I'm getting worse. You know, but I think I am getting better as far as I know. I don't think I'm getting any worse. I don't think it can get any worse, you know. So yeah, I'm just giving you kind of my tips in there about presentation, what you can improve on and things like that. I talk about thinking before you present, and then I talk about, you know, thinking after you're presented. Yeah, just, you know, go from there. Think, practice, present, think, repeat. And that's, you know, very simple. That's how I kind of got to where I am. I mean, I'm not the top presenter. I'm not, you know, the actress or, you know, presenting the news or anything like that these days. And I never was kind of a presentable, presentable, a presenter. You know, I hated speeches growing up and things like that. But yeah, just giving you my knowledge of what I've done to improve how I present things. Doing the weekly tips has brought a lot of that on, because I want an interesting video. You know, doing these chats is just kind of chatting and chilling and stuff like that. But actually doing a 5 minute where I'm trying to give a tip, I try and make it interesting too, is really challenging. So that is what's improving these videos as well. So it's always great to do. But yeah, we'll probably delve into that kind of thing in another video. A bit more, you know, about like, yeah, presenting these videos and things like that as well. I think I've chatted a little bit about that too. So that's been me painting my hedgehog page 3, hedgehog book. I'm pretty sure on the name, and I've got to create the title page for that and things like that as well. You should see me in one of the next videos paint the rest of it and see the major changes that I do go on in the final piece from that. It's final, but we'll see. You know, they might have a little tweaks before I actually print it. But I'm pretty happy with what it's going to look like. So yeah, if you join me, I really appreciate it. Hopefully you think about your investing time, how you're going to invest time, what you're going to invest it on, and you know, if it's worth investing your time and things on. You know, it's fine if you just love to draw, and you just like doing it in your spare time. You don't want to do it all the time. You just want to do it kind of like what my situation is, you know, doing it 20 hours a week. I think about that sometimes. Would I actually be happy doing illustration 60 hours a week? Because, you know, if I had a 40-hour job, I'd also be trying to keep up with this YouTube channel. Would I be happy actually drawing and illustrating 60 hours? Or, you know, would I be happy just doing the 40 or something like that? Think about that too. So yeah, think about how you invest time and things like that. Hopefully you did take something out of this video, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Goodbye.